Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you beckoned. Your divine intervention is needed. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin. Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such zeal, but I have worked myself to exhaustion and am forced to rest here. Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, find the traps I laid in the sewer and lay waste to them. I wish you well.
If theme guide your actions.
Beckon, is there anything? You bear the circlet of Arcades. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in Eries to the south. Come, Beckoned.
Got the forge hot, stranger. If you need repair work for armor or weapons, I'm your man. Aye? And I suppose you're here to preach the virtues of helping my lazy neighbours, more like buzzards. I've been there before. I know what life is like in the gutters. I'll pay my part, aye. But it's you that's more deserving, I think. Here's some coin. All right, then.
Care to browse? I can promise you'll always find the goods you need at Sembles. Care to browse? Share them with who? With... Oh, I see. It's not enough that I scrape out something for myself. You can't succeed in this city without someone coming to collect. You mean it, don't you? You actually care about them. Fine, I'll give my part. And thanks for your compassion. Please, come by again.
What?
Good tidings.
I've a fully stocked apothecary if you need it. Driador's always got your needs covered. I knew better than to think my prosperity would go unnoticed. It seems all my success helps others instead of myself. Generosity is not something seen that often here. If not in my neighbors, I might place my trust in you. I'll donate to the poor, and why not to you as well? I'll be here.
You wish to speak? this mining didn't...
Good day, traveler.
Looking for potions? Very well.
Pretty evening, isn't it?
Then, one Myru heard the whispered golden notes of the voice of wisdom herself. Athene. The goddess bid him to raise up his brethren, so they may know the favor of the gods once more. We are Athene's chosen. We follow her path. Guide us to your blessed wisdom. We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Terex Eyries lie in the wilds of the Teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Terex here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Very well, Beckoned. Feel Balon's embrace! Feel my wrath! Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the Teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Salvation awaits. Feel Balon's embrace! Come. The circlet must be built. We wandered the Teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Feel Balon's embrace! In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor Arche sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. As a show of thanks, take these. The Terriks are mighty, and their hides light but strong. These will serve you well. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation? To raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. We must act.
And so this Myru gifted them with Apothani heart, and the newly born Colossi found deliverance. And with the gods once more upon the mount, so did they surge towards the teeth of Naros, towards majesty. Your pride leads us to glory in your name. Blessed is the way of Kraos.
Journeying the teeth of Naros.
By the magnificent graces of Athene, a city was built upon gloried heights. So stood Idylla in bountiful tribute.
Who wanders into my camp? What is this? You are far too small to be a colossi. So it's true then. The beckoned has come. This is my home, but not for much longer. I moved out here to reconnect with my roots, you see. My heritage as a giant race. However, my time on my own has come to an end. I am ready to take the next step and go and live amongst the Jotun of the Teeth of Naros. There are only loose ends that need to be taken care of, but I have sworn off Idylla for all days I have left. Would you? I will reward you for your help. I will not be needing the coin where I am going. I want for my family ring, currently in the hands of my brother Heliodorus, and to see my journal delivered to my old comrade Darius. But perhaps most of all, I want you to find my wife, Corina. I would like you to bring her here to me. You must retrieve my family ring, deliver my journal, and speak with my wife. Be quick, Beckoned. I must get to the Jotun soon. There's not really enough space in this camp for two.
Yet tragedy befell these giants, as in trying to force the Hyperion upwards, Athene was angered and made her rage known. And so the life was driven from some, the faith from many.
Forgive our trespasses, and bless us with wisdom, Athene the All-Knowing, in whose name we pray.
You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches, It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arcades, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. Come, Beckoned. Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. Come. We must finish this. This mural is to celebrate the great triumph. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. Come. We must finish this. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. The end of this awaits. Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me, and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arcais could not. Command the Hyperion. The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idilla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckon, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Anakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idilla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We need to stop Anakatos, but we cannot do so here. Things are bound to be dangerous. Take this. I have not seen a shield of this craft before, but I think you can make use of it. Now, let us move. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Very well. I won't. Then I must.
You forsake a fiend!
I hear you. Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his silent choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anakatos and his silent choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nixaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anakatos' silent choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the Mountains of the Teeth. Very well.
Isn't it?
We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. We should try near the Shrine of Athene. Anakatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her. Be cautious in these lands.
Anakatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor, so that I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, and now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again.
Beckoned, not time. Seek, Primos, below.
I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arcades. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve, and we use the power of his position to...
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait, I recognize some faces. Belfron, Armandia, these were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Be cautious in these lands.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death. Arcais failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition.
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
I found these curious blades on one of my opponents. Your agility might suit them. Now, we must make clear what that cultist said. The council must be important, something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher and the Hyperion. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. I do not believe so. The council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Be cautious in these lands.
I struggle to keep sweet Arcais alive so that I may find in him the knowledge and power of the Primos, and in doing so can find the answer I needed to bring myself, my people, to perfection, to regain the goodwill of the great goddess. Thank Athene that my followers continue my work while I tend to my master.
These Jotun slaves are fighting for us. Could it be because we spared them when Karant was slain?
Learn your...
I am past the point of much, but I can feel the warmth of Athene in you, strange one. Has my time come at last? I cannot see. I cannot see. I know the beckon comes, but I cannot even look upon you. I am beyond rescue. Anakatos kept me alive, and though I wished for death many times, I knew I had to live. Athene commanded it, for I spoke with her the day the gods struck us down for our folly. The day Anakatos hid my broken body and told the world I died. But I leave you not without a guide. Tell Sikandra she must remember her last day. She must.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anakatos had him alive and tortured. I thought... I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke, before the Hyperion tragedy. He asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anakatos' sin. As I thought it was our cases before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. An Arcase. He always knew that I would be here. He must have always known. The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head! Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic... Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal. Farewell.
If only there were others akin to myself, holy ones, who are resolute and hold tightly to their faith. Or had I the means to create the people the gods truly wished for, so...
The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arcais spoke of, and quickly. Arcais requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. They are two sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the Teeth and the other in its canyon. These were called the shrines of earth and air. I thought nothing of them, but Arcais knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arcais showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. It rests in the teeth of Naros, but south of the Hyperion and the city. It is nestled between the great crags of rock that make these mountains. Very well.
Beckon. Can such a wrong be undone?
If you mean to worship, there's a prayer.
Beckoned. Thou hast come.